What's wrong with my microphone? I somehow got muted? When did I get muted? Oops. Mountain Man, thank you very much for the heads up. I was talking all this time. I'm not sure what happened and when. Welcome, Mountain Man. Thank you very much for, like... It is working now. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I was muted. I was muted all this time. Okay, for how long? Let me figure that out. Just give me a second. Just give me a short second. I'm gonna stop the music. I'm going to watch the stream. I'm not hearing anything. What? No, there is sound definitely. I'm not hearing anything in my video at all. Mountain Man, I'm figuring this out. Thank you that you told me. Second. I'm gonna stop the music. Okay, now I can hear myself. I was muted from the start? Freaking hell. There is music. Okay. So there was sound in the recorded video, but there were no microphone from this. You got to be kidding me. That's an epic fail. So I've been streaming for 46 minutes without my microphone working on. Pro streamer, yeah, there's always something wrong with these ones. Always freaking something wrong. So, oh boy, okay. So, I guess we gotta just cut off the first 40 minutes of the stream. So this stopped, the music goes back. The music's here. Just give me a sec. So, what we are doing tonight, I gotta repeat it all again. So, yesterday I soldered a bunch of DIY PCI DIY PS2 brackets, like these ones. Yeah, started like it started. Yeah, so yesterday I worked on these ones. So these are DIY PS2 brackets for retro motherboards that have PS2 on them as headers but don't have them as ports. So, and long story short, I wasn't able to buy any, so I sourced then the brackets themselves that are actually very good brackets made of like strong metal, not just case aluminum that can be bent. These are pretty strong. These feel like steel. I sourced the connectors that you can see here. So I sourced the connectors, but those connectors unfortunately could be only mounted to a PCB. So Nicola designed PCBs for me, specifically for making my own DIY PS2 brackets for like retro PCs. So that's what happened. That's how we got here. So yesterday I started soldering them together, and our idea was that we would just solder the wires for the connector for the motherboard straight into the PCB. And yesterday when I started washing them with alcohol, this one actually I kind of washed, so it's almost clean. So they started like breaking off right away. So some of them seem to be okay, and some of them started breaking off really easily. So they are not that so basically I suspected that it might be the case, but I hoped it would be stronger, the wires connected to the PCB straight. But when you mount it, in a case you would be like bending it, moving it around, doing this. So, and yeah, yesterday I realized that it would be very limited number of bends that you'd have, so using this. So it's not a secure connection. I learned it. Maybe because these Chinese wires are not good, maybe because it's just the way it's soldered into the PCB. It's not supposed to be moving at all. Maybe that's just too thin. So, but fortunately, Nicola, when he designed this PCB for me, that wasn't my requirement, that wasn't his idea, he didn't think about it, I didn't think about it, but these holes here, there's like 2 sets of holes just for the convenience. They turned out to be almost exactly 2.54 millimeter apart, and that's the size of the standard 2.54 pins. So they, as you can see, go in easily. So without any problem, like it was designed for the pins, but it wasn't. It just happened. So, and even though these are detachable pretty much connectors, it's still gonna be way more secure than using cables, wires coming straight into the PCB. So we have done already fixed already one of the adapters, so this looks almost professional here, and that's how it's gonna be. So here's the connector, goes like this. Then if I want, I can drop a blob of hot glue on top of it to kind of fix it in place forever. Why not? Not supposed to be detached. And then the other side goes into the motherboard, and since it's like a retro motherboard, since it's like first motherboards with PS2 headers, even without like the ports themselves, only with headers for them. Unfortunately, each motherboard, there's no standard different pinout of their headers, so got to consult the manual for each motherboard. So that's how it's supposed to work. The only problem, the problem that we fixed today, no wires soldered straight into the PCB, no wires that can just break off. There's a connector that can be plugged in and removed, and it can be just glued with hot glue, and that's it. So this is way more professional. And again, this whole PCB thing is only because the PS2 ports, actually it's called Mini DIN 6 socket. So I was able to find only these ones, so only the ones that are supposed to be mounted on a PCB. So this the PCB is designed by Nicola. So some Chinese factory produced it for us in big sheets. So I have these small boards. I have like, I don't know, over 100 of them now. So Uh, these are just, yeah, I don't need even to salvage them, but whatever. What's expensive here? Well, I mean, I'm not talking about like expensive. I'm talking about that it's like the old junk that nobody needs these days. But these ones, Mini DIN 6, ended up to be kind of pricey, and the good brackets made of steel ended up kind of being pricey too. Living Room TV, good evening, welcome. For retro computing, for retro motherboards that have PS2 headers on them but don't have PS2 ports. I mean, the thing with retro computing, retro PC especially, I'm talking about retro PC, is that it's not that they are slow, it's not that you gotta find software for them, no. The thing with them is connectivity. There's very little of modern anything that you can use to pretty much input any information into an old retro PC, even like if I'm talking about like Pentium 1, Pentium 2 era here. So, and having things like that, when you can use just PS2 mice, it's like one headache less. There's still a lot of headaches. For example, like if you don't use Windows or Windows 95, even Windows 95 OSR 2, Windows 98, where you would have USB support. Not all, even Pentium 1 motherboards, they have USB. Many of them would have USB, but again, as a header on the motherboard, not like as a port. So sometimes you end up not having USB, you end up not having a way to plug in mice otherwise than just using a COM port, serial port. So these things just remove one headache, and it's actually a pretty big headache. Using old mice, serial mice with like balls in them, it's, yeah, you wouldn't want that. I mean, maybe for authenticity, but I'm thinking about convenience here. So, and yesterday we made a bunch of these, but when I yesterday after the stream started washing them with isopropyl alcohol, I learned that actually these wires, they are not going to stay in this board for long. They started breaking off, and the rest of them will break off eventually, pretty soon, eventually. So today we are fixing this problem by, well, redoing this all with just pins. So, but for that, where's my soldering wick? I'm just trying for the sport, I don't know, to salvage that side of the PCB where I soldered wires into earlier. Yeah, if it's not moving, then add some flux. So I'm doing it in old school way. I'm using pine rosin flux. It's kind of very old school. It leaves everything dirty, the soldering iron, the boards, the components, but again, it's just pine rosin. Makes things way easier. By the way, if my microphone starts cutting out, tell me right away. That won't be like the muting thing, where I accidentally mute myself like this. So it will be, if it when it happens, it will be just my microphone, radio microphone. losing power. I wish these modules they had like a beeper warning you when the battery's out. Yeah, maybe it's not like for professional use, but for me that would be more than enough. Yeah, it's hard to open up these holes with just wick. So, but you can kind of deepen them with this and the rest you do like this. My mistake, and I'm just fixing it. Come on. Yeah. This one already got enough solder on its legs, so it's not taking any more solder. And let's try to use wick around it to see if it works. Come on. Well, we'll just use a steel needle that doesn't get any solder on it. Almost. It was clean for a second. Come on. Curious. Well, I mean, gotta take a needle then. There's just enough solder to obturate the hole, but I cannot get to it with just my soldering iron or the soldering wick. No, cannot do it like this either. Yeah, it's hard to open them up again. Just a second. So let's use a larger needle. And see if this trick works. Sometimes it does, but these holes are actually pretty small. Oops, burning the camera. Okay, one hole is open. Using just the syringe needle. The hole is open. And since it's steel, it doesn't take solder on it that easy. It pushes that away. This is like not staying in there. Oh, come on. Can I please have it secure and not moving? That'd be great. Okay, that trick worked. That trick worked. So there's a little bit of solder from this side pushed out by the needle. So okay. Four pins. By the way, thanks to Nicola, I have these pins. He had a little bit of them because all I have, it's like either they are very long ones, and they are all either long or short, but all of them they are in 2 rows, and I needed just 1 row. So thanks to Nicola. Okay, we will push it. We will push it in. Doesn't want to go, but we will make it. You can touch the holes with a dry soldering iron without any solder on it. That'll open them up a little bit. On both sides. Oops. That was not solder, that was flux. But flux is just a little bit of pine rosin. No, it's actually in these small holes it becomes pretty strong. So now I closed it with flux. Amazing. Okay, everything's dirty. Covered in pine rosin, burnt pine rosin, but again, nothing a little bit of as isopropyl alcohol cannot help. Yeah, still not big enough. Come on. Okay. just like this. Then you don't want to take it in, I'll force you. That's a matter of principle at this point. This is better. This is better. Pushed it through. Willy, good evening, welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything's amazing. Giving them out. Because I just forced them through the holes. Here we go. Salvaged. Just a little bit of solder. And it's gonna be absolutely okay. Oh, come on. Too much flux, not enough flux. Yeah, now there's a lake of flux over there. Well, again, washable. I just drowned everything in flux over there. I've got to try it from the other side. The port's in the way. Oops. Here we go. And the one that's in the middle. Sorry, not going to do it on camera. It's like pretty hard to do it on camera. Okay. No bridges, just everything very dirty. So, and again, I don't know why, but I salvaged this side of holes. So the problem with these small PCBs is that, well, the problem is not in them. I have a ton of them. The problem is that these ones, I have only 5 of them, 5 of these ports, sockets, and I've already not just soldered them, but actually there's like bent pins here that hold this thing in additionally, and these bent ones are soldered in too. So removing the PCB and just destroying it, it's not a problem. Taking a new one, I have like 2 million of them. It's only one big PCB cut in small pieces. So, but this is very hard to remove now. Okay, so we have this one. We actually haven't tested it yet, so let's test. I totally forgot about testing. So the one that we've done already, and this one. So we have this repinned cable. Can I please have it on camera? Thank you. So 1 on this side, 3 on this side. No, I can't have it on camera. God damn it. Okay, so like them like this, them together. So there's the beeping scene. Here we go, it beeps. So one on this side should be, and one of these ones. Oops. I'm not having a connection. Oh no, there is. So yeah, these needles are thin, but not really thin enough to go deep into these very small holes. Here we go. No shorts. No shorts. On the ground, unused pins. So here we go, tested this one. Let's test another one with this, using the same cable, because I have only one cable like that ready for now. So yeah, it's on there. The edge one. So probably this one. No? This one then? Yeah. Oops. We are shorting it with this thing. With the crocodile that's not insulated. Like this. Like this. That's better. So test it again. No shorts. This one's supposed to be the second one. This. This one's supposed to be this one. Come on. Not getting a connection. And here. The connections here probably cannot go just deep enough in the socket. Deep enough in the hole. The metal's definitely inside there. There is actual metal contact. And this one's connected. So yeah, no shorts. So this one, well, it's on the leg of this port. So it's just I cannot reach it like this. Oh no, I can even. So it's just not not a good connection to test anything. Okay, so remove this, assemble the bracket again. So, and I wash it with isopropyl alcohol assembled. So just because one assemble them all on stream. Get in, yeah. Sometimes they don't want to. Here we go. One's on. So only just a little bit of tightening till they start bending the PCB. So here is another one assembled, and yeah, cables like this, I'll make more of them. So I don't have like 4-pin cases for this connector, so I made this one out of 5-pin. So see the side of it. I cut off just one hole for 1 pin, but I just ordered them from AliExpress. They'll be here like in a couple of weeks, and I'm not really rushing anywhere. I'm not really in a hurry. So, and then I just made more of these. I will make more of this. So, okay, that's number 2 ready. Number 3. There's one on my desk. Here it is. Disassembling it first. Yeah, that's already like very flimsy. I don't want to test it on stream because how it would just break off, because I just want to solder it out in one piece. Okay. Just one by one with a little bit of flux. Oops, 2 just broke off. I didn't do anything, they just broke off. So see how bad it is actually soldering things straight into a PCB if it's like just thin wires, really thin ones. Okay. Come on. Here we go. Got them all out. No strands left. Oh, there's maybe one. Ah, no, there's like a bunch here on top for some reason. Yeah, clean them off. Oops. What was that noise? Was it on my Bluetooth? Or was it something in my PC? There was a loud click. Huh. Okay. Now I breached a bunch of them here. 2 holes here, but bridging actually it's easy to solve with just wick. You cannot really apply pressure because it's in the air. I need it on the desk. Just a second. This pressure or without, it's kinda hard to take the solder out of the holes. Okay. That side's hot. It's the weakest taking solder from the iron. I'm trying to just to show it, the very end of it in the hole. How do people do that with just wick opening up these holes? Because I'm kind of using all tricks here. Okay, then the needle it is. Didn't go through. VLD, well, yeah, this board doesn't have any components so on it, so just this big port soldered on. There's nothing really to burn. Yeah, just for this case there's a separate set of holes, a spare set of holes on the other side of it, but I kind of want to use this one, or at least leave them clean. Okay. Oh yeah, see what's on the other side. So that can be maybe actually collected with the unsoldering wick. Sorta working. Close that one, but better than it was before. I'm just learning how to save these small holes. Okay, 3 open, 1 needs a needle. Okay, this looks better. It should be actually easier to get the excessive, well, any solder, not just excessive solder off of them when they are open, because the solder would be on the ring, not inside the hole. Okay, looks clean from solder, at least on this side. Well, not clean from flux, but yeah, lots of flux help melting lots of solder. Very clean on this side too. Okay, let's see. Taking 4 pins here like this. Let's see if we can just put them in. Well, almost. One hole needs a little bit of opening up, but only one, I think. Only one. Like this. A little bit of brute force. Gently applied brute force. Okay. I keep forgetting about the acid here. But with these big pins, it's better to give it a little bit of acid treatment. Remove the oxidization, makes way easier it to solder them. Like this. Yeah, a little bit of acid on my fingers, but that's okay. It's not like anything serious. It's by the way 75% orthophosphoric acid. Well, it expired in 2022 and I think it's not 75 anymore. Not 75 at all. Yeah, if it doesn't help, if it doesn't heat up, add some flux. My soldering iron is actually pretty big for this. Here we go, another one. This one doesn't look like it got soldered properly. Or maybe it's just the reflection. And the last one, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can. I'm feeding in the solder just in form of this wire. Okay, dirty, yes, but soldered 100%. Okay, let's test it again using the same cable, but the cable is good. But what can even be wrong with this cable if it's like cream pins on one side, cream pins on another side? It can break somewhere inside. Okay, slowly moving forward, fixing a huge design flaw. Mistakes were made, as the title says, but mistakes were made in some assumptions on the during like the design stage. So one on this side, probably this one. No, this one then. No. Hey. Oh yeah. Testing shorts. No shorts, then this one should be this one. Yep. Not shorted to any other ones. This one should be this one. Yep. And this one, it's the one on the edge here. Yep. Here we go. The third one's done. 2 more to go. Well, let's assemble it. Back. So this is like the soldering side. This is my soldering side. Okay. Bracket, the bracket. Where did the bracket go? On this side. So these holes in the brackets I drilled myself. It was pretty hard, and only in the end I kinda learned how to make them, well, more round. This, by the way, as you can see, is a little bit off and not really that round. Well, it's more like oval, irregular, of a irregular shape. So but yeah, they need to be precise only to some degree. It's more like a matter of perfection. So this looks maybe like oops. The first one I drilled. The fifth one actually. Yeah, these brackets are pretty not that easy to drill. I mean, I don't know how they're called, like step drills with different diameters in steps. That drill bit save me like every time. So I first piloted it with like really small one, and I used really small, a separate small thin drill bit for these holes for the bolts. Yeah, this is the first one I drilled because it's a little bit tilted. So, and then this one, first I drilled a pilot hole on a like drilling machine, well, kinda desk drilling machine. So, and then I took them out and drilled them in the vise on a jig. I made a special jig out of wood, where I could just screw this bracket to the jig and then like drill it, and I could drill it without it moving. Well, and the whole jig was in the vise. So and this hole I made with like that step drill bit. They keep saving me. But yeah, this is the first one I drilled, so it's kind of like, I don't know if you can see it, it's a little bit like that. And this, the distances are a little bit off. But yeah, these brackets, I like them. There's a ton of brackets like with holes you can buy on AliExpress for ventilation. These are very thin. You can buy the ones that are aluminium, but with like sort of, I don't know, indentation, not indentation, like sort of kinda a pressed in area, so they don't have like completely flat surface. So, and these ones, the only ones I was able to find that kind of like completely flat, smooth, and made of steel. I would have used the aluminum ones even, but I found this one. I mean, and because of that, they're pricey. Well, more expensive, kind of significantly more expensive than the ones with holes on the one with like the pressed in area. So okay, I need a short break. We will continue. We still have 2 more to do and some stuff after that. So a short break, no clips unfortunately. I don't have enough streams with soldering something with getting magic smoke coming out of the devices, so don't have enough of that. Maybe over time, so there would be like my own collection of fails of clips. So be right back, and well, we'll continue. Okay, I'm back. The microphone is still green, so should be able to hear me. The music a little bit quieter. So let's continue our adventures with the brackets here. So 3 done. Resoldered. The wires are soldered out. The pins soldered in. So let's keep going. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. So I think I saved enough holes. I kind of learned how to save them, how to open them up, so I can just use holes on the other side, because making things a little bit easier. So let's remove this. Get out of the way. Oh, a little bit too far for me. Go. Okay, taking another 4 pins. Oops, broke all 5. Well, let's keep it. I don't really have well, I don't have anything that single row. I have a bunch of like big ones and double row, so these are really big ones. So, and these were donated today by Nicola. So the PCB designed by him, Nicola designed it for me. So these here and these here, they are just completely the same group, the same contacts, the same pins of the connector. So can use either side, can use both, whatever. So, and even just for the sake of it, he even added the pins that are not used in the PS2 connector, but can be used in like mini DIN6 connector. So gotta keep it in place somehow. So if I just solder it on the table, on the desk, like this. I only need 1 pin to get it stuck in place. Forgot about deoxidizing it. That's again a little bit of orthophosphoric acid. Makes things just easier. Can I do it like this? Oh yeah, I can. Though not gonna be really convenient to solder this. But again, I need only one pin to fix it in place. Is it bent, tilted, that I don't want? Come on. Yeah, probably doing that like this on the desk. How do people even do it? Yeah. Like this. Maybe like this. Yeah. Okay. So okay. That's more like an issue of geometry than anything else. Geometry of the way it's held by this third hand. Okay, here we go. That's good. Again, I just need one pin. Yeah, when you don't need to unsolder anything, you don't need that much flux, and there's a little bit flux in the solder inside, like the core is made of flux, and it's really microscopic, and that's exactly enough actually to solder things like that on a PCB. But the flux that's inside this the solder, this wire, it's it's not pine rosin, it's something really artificial, and it doesn't smell that good. Pine rosin, it's like you can smell it all day, and a little bit of lead and whatever in the solder, but the stuff that's inside there, it's not fun. Okay, didn't find the right angle to get to it. Let me clean the soldering iron. From all the solder on it. Yeah, gotta reshape it again. The shape is still like not regular at all, in any way regular. Okay, maybe that way it's gonna be better. Almost clean. And no burnt pine rosin. Oops. Yeah, as clean as it gets. Okay, let's test it. Where is the cable? Here it is. You go here. Oh, come on. And you go here, like this. Here we go. Plugged all the way. So this one is going to be either this side or this side. No shorts. So this one then is this one. No shorts. This one then is this one. Yep. And this one is this one. Nothing shorted. Here we go. Assemble the bracket. So that's the right way to do it. Do not solder any questionable wires, cables straight into your boards. Crimped connections and then connecting connections, connector connections, they are better than anything than wires just soldered in. Okay, the bracket. Okay. Oops. There's again solder in the hole, I think. Yeah, in the mounting hole. So doesn't even need a nut here, but still gotta add it. It's probably not going to be. Yeah, no, it's turning. Okay, so when the bolt gets stuck because of the solder in this hole, yeah, you have to just manually put on and tighten the nuts. Here we go, like this. Perfect. And this one is the cleanest one so far. So I'm learning things. So I've been doing like basic soldering all my life. I don't remember when I first time took a soldering iron in my hands, when I was really just a child. So my stepfather actually taught me how to do it, and that was, I don't know, 85, 86. But I actually have zero experience with like soldering PCBs and whatnot. And this is like already breaking off. So this is the last one to redo. Where's, here it is. Out of the way. Out of the way. So let's unsolder it before it completely breaks off. Here we go. Checking, nothing's breached. The holes are just closed. Almost perfectly, almost perfect balls of solder on this side. Like it was properly balled, reballed on the soldering station. Yeah, a little bit dirty from this side, but we are going to use this side here. So, taking 4 pins, taking the acid, giving it a little bath in acid. It's not necessary, it's just you either remove oxidization by acid or you just pretty much brute force it by just overheating it. Just a drop of acid over there. Here we go. Acid out of the way. Oops. So my fingers now. Thank you for that. So yeah, for those who just joined, this is expired 75% orthophosphoric acid. Nothing, as they say, to write home about, really. Oops. Got notification on my phone. Just a second. In the middle of the night. Well, it's actually already very bright outside. 15 minutes till 5 in the morning. Okay, just need a second there. Like this and like this. Screw you. Big time. Here we go. Like this. More or less in place. And perfect. The iron is really dirty. Now gotta clean it with some sandpaper. Just a second. Here we go. Now we can raise this. It's not going anywhere anymore. Come on. Here we go. Do we have focus? Yeah, we have focus. Do we have audio? Yes, we have audio. So this one. This one. And the last one. Phew. Okay. This one's done. Even more or less straight. Just a second. Okay. Now let's test it. I'd really love to have a little bit larger field of view, but at the same time, these pieces, they are so small. Here we go. So you go here. You go here. Okay, so this one should be either this one, yeah, it's this one. Shorts, no shorts. This one is this one. A. Yep, it's in there, just too deep for this needle. This one then is this one, yeah, no shorts. And the last one is in there. Okay, this is done very well. So let's assemble the last bracket. And this looks very professional. Well, don't look here. I look like here. Oops. Moved it accidentally. I bought these bolts and nuts specifically for this purpose. It's like the smallest ones I've ever like used. I mean, there are even smaller ones in the, for example, in my glasses, like here, but yeah, that's not DIY. That's not something I had to choose to do myself. So here we go. Perfect. So 5 brackets, only 1 cable for now, but there'll be more. I'll make more. I have enough of them to just repin. The thing is that I don't have cases for 4-pin connectors. I have for 5-pin connectors, so I will probably order 4-pin connectors cases, or I just take a 5-pin and cut them like I did it with this one. So here we have our 5 brackets. They actually, as you can see, because I use a different side on the PCB, but then I turned the whole assembly with PCB with the port the other way around, so just to have the pins always on one side. So they are kinda, some of them are upside down. Yeah, and the holes, they are not aligned, but these brackets, they are not going to be used in one build. That's like 1 bracket per PC build. I'm going to do a lot of retro builds. I've been slowly accumulating, purchasing old hardware. I have a lot now, actually, so there will be a lot of retro builds. That's why I need, like, probably 5 might not even be enough. I'll have to do more. Yeah, okay. Okay, with this one, with these ones, we are done. Now, we need to do this PCB. Again, I have a bunch of them. It's like the ones Nicola not just designed and ordered for me, but he actually pre-cut some of them. So this one's a little bit insane. I don't even know how to explain it without showing it to you. But the motherboard that I'm going to use for my personal Pentium 1 machine, retro machine, it has USB on it, but that USB looks like USB header. It looks like a socket for this plug. So that's why we came up with this solution. When you solder this thing here and you put it in the motherboard, and here you just get your standard your standard USB well, header. And here another PS2 on this side, but we don't need it because it's kind of just the second one. It's a copy of the first one, so there's like one separate one next to the keyboard slot on that motherboard. I mean, maybe I can show you. Can I? It's not that far away, it's here, the motherboard itself that I'm talking about. Oops, sorry, give me a second. I keep it close. So it has functional USB. Here it is, that's the motherboard. It has functional USB here, but it looks like, go away, it looks like this. That's USB. This one's USB. It's not only not pins, it's actually socket. So, and it's like for a DON card, but there's a pin out for this thing, and we learned how to just use it. And I checked this USB, it's like, of course, USB 1 on this very old motherboard. That's the name of it. It's too bright. P55XB. I don't remember the manufacturer of it. Back then there were like a ton of iWill. That's iWill actually. That's a name. It's not like some random strange manufacturer that doesn't exist anymore. So, well, I will talk about this motherboard when I start building a PC using it, so retro. But what's amazing about it, it's Pentium 1, and it can take actually some of the AMD K2, I think, K2 processors to make it to make things a little bit faster. But it has your standard 80X power. It can be used with a standard 80X power supply, which is, I prefer it for my personal Pentium 1 machine. Very old, but, well, very old. Yeah, very old. I think it was made 1996, so still good. The caps are all good. Well, because the caps that got all destroyed, it was like a period. So electrolytic caps that ended up being bad, it was just a period of time in their production. Lots of things just coincided for the industry to start producing the pretty much faulty electrolytic capacitors. But before and after, same looking caps, they just stay okay, completely good for like dozens of years. So, and I have for the CPU, I have a Pentium 233 in it. Maybe I'll try AMD, but first I got to build something. So, and because of this strange USB connector, this motherboard needs an adapter, because the DON card, it's impossible to find these days. So we are going to make this adapter, solder it here. So let's start with ACID again. It's gonna be a little bit harder because my ACID base is not big enough for this. Okay. That'll do. I'd prefer not to have the acid on my fingers. Just give me a second. It's a little bit unpleasant feeling. It's not burning anything, it's just kinda sticky and gooey. It feels like it's very gooey. Maybe because it's actually expired a long time ago. So here we have all the markings. Again, custom PCB designed by Nicola, and he even ordered it in China for me. So some of the legs, as you can see, some of the terminals or whatever they are, pins, are not connected to anything. They are not used. So crap, it's moving, but I gotta keep it on the desk for at least the first couple pins. Okay. Okay, now it's not going to jump out. We can use the third hand for this. You go away. Manual focus. Here we go. Okay, let's start with one side, then I turn it around. My headphones, earplugs, Bluetooth earplugs I'm using to monitor the sound, actually out of charge, so I've got to using other ones. Okay. That's kinda, don't want to just jinx it, but this seems way easier than I expected it to be. Just feeding soldering. This is my first time soldering anything like this. Okay, and one side's done. So it's kinda well soldered on this side, but not that well on the inner side. I'm just not going to resolder it. One side fully soldered is enough. So Here we go. And then the other side, there's way less points to solder. Let me actually fix my headphones issue. Well, earplugs. Okay. So these ones are going to be charged. And these ones are going to be used. Let's see if they, yeah, automatically connected. So for those who just joined, if you want to know what this is a very specific adapter for a very specific motherboard, to a retro motherboard, to use USB on it. So if you want to see more info on it, just go back in the stream. You find me showing like the motherboard like 15 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. So I wanted to have more solder. Oh, this one doesn't need to be soldered. It doesn't have a ring around it, around the hole. Oops, that's like a little bit too much. Made a big blob. Okay, maybe I can just heat them up. The ones that I don't like. It doesn't look like I can just reach between the rows with my very thick soldering iron. So this is like done. So now we need to do USB, and we even designed it that way that, see, there is like a tilted well, it's rectangular, yeah, it's a square, but it's what's the name of this figure? So it's a different shape, let's call it that way. So that's one where it's not supposed to have a pin. So this one's not supposed to have a pin because that's the key for the USB standard header. So you gotta take this and remove the corner pin. And yeah, it's supposed to be like this. So one underneath and one on top. So, and to remove the pin, you do it like this. Hop, and no pin. Okay. Let's just try to get it. Get it stuck. So, didn't work. I forgot to add a little bit of acid again. That's why it's not taking the solder on that easy. A little bit of acid fixes everything. All the oxidization issues, and in some cases it just helps, in some cases it helps immensely. Makes like soldering a breeze. You're going to tell me that we got the hole plugged out. We got the hole plugged already. Amazing, I closed the hole. Okay. So the way these connectors made, it's like pins, moving them pretty easily. Okay. So the thing is, I have now a ton of these PCBs because the way the factory produces them. So, and I can make a ton of these adapters specifically for that motherboard, but I need like only one because I have only one motherboard of this type with this specific USB thingy on it. There we go. Crap. Now gotta even them out a little bit. They move in this thingy. Feels like now I'm losing focus all the time. Just a second. Okay, more or less the same height now. Whew. Oops. And one just... We lost one pin here. Freaking hell. Okay. I'm just going to take another... God. Why did it even fall out? How? Technically it's not needed. As far as I remember, USB pin out. Oh God. Nothing, just... How did it fall out if it's not coming in even? Okay, more like this. Okay, who apps around the side. Okay, it's now moving freely in there. Yeah, okay, I jinxed it. It's not that easy anymore. But I'm gonna still use this one, not cutting myself a new set of pins. So let's see now if I can just even without feeding additional solder, I was able to get it pretty much soldered in. Okay. Now the same for every pin and with solder. You cannot see it, freaking hell. God, I need a camera operator for this stuff. Is it at least in focus? One side's done. So this is even smaller once I actually fixed the monitor I'm currently using. It's currently on my desk. I fixed it, but it was very simple. I just opened it and recapped the power supply of the monitor. So that's like a monitor with a power supply that's still inside, not a brick outside. So but that was easier than this because it was like every capacitor had just two legs and they were kind of very far apart. On the square one, it's the pin number 1, so you always can tell just by looking at it. That's our design. Well, Nicola design. Here we go. Didn't melt anything. So this goes into motherboard like this. Of course, since it's like extremely custom, it's of our own design, I'm going to be very careful with using it. For the first time I will just put it in the motherboard and I check the voltages on the USB here. I'll check it manually before connecting anything to it. And since while we're at it, let's solder in the pins for PS2 that we don't need because it's a copy of another PS2 header that's in the other part of the motherboard. So yeah, we have somewhere here the one that I broke off, that was 5 pins accidentally, so here we're going to use it for this. One pin we're going to remove, that's where this, what's the shape of this figure, don't remember. So where this tilted square is not supposed to have a pin, so and even managed to actually add the pin out here. Here we go. So should be like this. A little bit of acid. Just to make things a little bit more agreeable. Like this. Oops. No, it should stay. It should now stand on them. Why don't you want to? Like this. Crap. Where's the focus on this one? Okay. Come on, no solder on the iron at all. No solder on the iron. Cannot even give it a little bit. Here we go. Oops. Crap, it fell out. Because I'm stupid. Not supposed to start with the one that actually keeps it in the board. This one's empty, I forgot. here we go. Perfection. So this is a very specific adapter to that very specific motherboard to turn proprietary motherboards USB socket, USB like header, into something more like of a modern standard. Again, with retro PCs, I learned a thing that the bigger problem with them is connectivity. It's like giving them info. It's like interacting with them, be it like mouse, keyboard, be it like feeding them info from like some sorts of sources of data, flash drives, hard drives, hard drives, CF cards, SD cards. So because they need it. These days we just use USB and USB thumb drives, or even just internet. But the old machines, USB, if you have it there, it's very limited, so not always won't work for actually booting it. You cannot boot like Pentium 1 from a USB stick. I couldn't, at least. So but at least to have USB, it's like a big thing. Yeah, there's even ways to run USB in DOS, at least attach USB drives, but I'm not going that deep. I want it at least in Windows. And my go-to operating system, by the way, for Pentium 1s even, it's like Windows 2000. So, but of course there will be Windows 98 at least. So, but the host, the main operating system on every P1 is going to be, on every P1 that I build, is going to be Windows 2000. So, okay, this is done. One more thing. So, connectivity. Yeah. That's why it's been taking so long, because I've been working again on a bunch of my own designs. So, connectivity. So let's switch to the overhead camera. Connectivity is a problem, a very big one. So that's why I came up with this contraption. So as you can see, it's a custom printed 5.25 inch bay panel that hosts a CF to IDE adapter, SD to IDE adapter, and couple USB and even audio. So couple USB connectors in even audio, because otherwise you would have them, or the only two USB that you would have on old machines, you would have them on the back of your machine. It's not very convenient at all. So I kinda designed this thing. So it took some time because I don't have a 3D printer. So, and I had to just order again from a local guy, printing it for me. So the color's wrong. We're working still on the color. So it's kinda cacao coffee, I don't know, like some sort of latte, whatever. So it's beige pretty much. It's not off-white like retro cases for PCs. So, but what I'm talking about here, really old PCs like Pentium 1s, Pentium 2s, they don't have anywhere on the board or on audio cards these headers for front panel audio connectors. So these two they cannot be used on old PCs. That's why I have another one. The design is modular, so I have one without the holes for audio. That's, for example, I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use on my own build. So, but USB headers that I'm buying on AliExpress, they have audio things on them. So we got to try to desolder them, which can be hard, but we got to try at least a couple. So that's like, this board actually never been washed, as you can see. So first with some wick, and then just brute force. Yeah, it doesn't want to go on the wick for some reason. Let's use fresh wick. I'll try the trick again. We need to minimize the amount of solder here. But I think my iron is only adding solder. I think I have like a ton of solder on my iron. Yeah. Maybe we should first desolder the soldering iron. Okay, more or less. Cut the wick. So this seemed to be actually harder to desolder than I expected. Got to just attack them from all sides. This one's almost done. And this one's almost done. When you actually remove all the solder from your iron, the things start working way better. And when you start applying some pressure to the right side, so it, yeah. So first one side I'm going to go, and then the other side. Come on. So I'm gonna make things a little bit dirty. Almost. They'll probably break off if I just move them a little bit with thin pliers. Almost. Let's cut this off. Okay, yeah, it's working. Gotta have hot soldering iron and apply some pressure and no solder on the iron itself. There. Okay. Yeah. Properly gathers solder, or the wick itself. The wick properly gathers solder. So good. And here. Now from the other side. Almost empty hole there. more or less. Okay, let's see if I can moving them, break the rest of the solder. Maybe yes. Oh yeah. That just popped right off. Actually, not even really that damaged. Whew! Yeah, more like scraping the board. Here we go. So we removed successfully these two, and we really don't really need them, but they are actually intact. Nothing happened to them. So, and that's how it's supposed to be, like this, like this. Here we go. No holes for audio connectors and no audio connectors on the board. Perfect. Perfection. So, and by the way, this part of the cable here we don't need at all. Only USB. This I'm not going to desolder, I'm just going to cut it out. With nail clippers. Cut it off with nail clippers. Yeah. Like this. Like it's always been like that. So just two USB ports. No unneeded audio ports that we cannot use at all on old machines. Okay, let's do it a couple more times. Just give me a second. There's one that's been processed. Here's one that needs processing. So let's unsolder these things here too. We learned how to do it the easy way. Just a little bit of soldering wick. Clean soldering wick, I gotta say. clean soldering wick. So cut off the piece that we don't need. Remove a little bit like I don't know, like this, and then like this maybe. To keep things in focus. Now it's dry. Cool. Could you see that? It just dried out. Here we go. Getting better at using soldering wick for this. Yeah. So when the wick actually gets solder on it, it cannot be used anymore for anything. Yeah, I need to order more. Actually, I'm almost out of it. Come on, doesn't get dry. The hole is not showing. You need to see a hole at least on one side. This one is not even connected. Interesting. Come on. Give me your solder. Here we go. So we kind of wrap around the wick around the pin, and then it starts giving the solder away. When you see a hole, it means that it's almost done. This one's empty, this one's empty. There's a lot of solder on them. Maybe that's the problem. One segment of a wick only can take so much before it gets saturated with solder and stops taking it in. Yeah. It's getting saturated for sure. Okay, from the other side. Don't want to damage the PCB trying to take these sockets, holes, plugs out by just brute force. Oh, I forgot one. I forgot this one. Just a second. There's really enough solder on them. And now just move the legs a little bit. Wiggle them. And then just try to pull it out like this. 1 and 2. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Hate this saying, but that's what it is. So another one processed. So, and while we are at it, I have quite some of them, so let's do another one here. So yeah, as you can see, I'm going to do quite a lot of retro builds. Kinda, I already have a pile of components and even like stocked up on these thingies. Kept kinda slowly buying them on Ali. me no. No solder at all. Give me a solder. Like that. Just a hole. Ow. Hot. Come on, are you going to get dry? This is the last one. This is the last one, I promise. Give the solder. This one's empty, this one's empty. Maybe attacking them from the top. It's actually a better idea. Going to be out of wick in no time if I continue desoldering it with this speed. Well, desoldering it like this. What about this one? Okay, dry. Now this one's empty. Yep. Yep, the wick's taking the solder off, definitely. Having problems with more problems after like 3 hours of soldering with finding focus. Oops. Am I streaming? I lost internet. I lost chat on my second PC, but not the video. Okay. On my first PC, the chat's still on. Both of them. Come on, get dry. So these are so far the driest ones. So just wiggle them. And then just pull it out like this. Not a lot of force even needed. Oops, that one I just broke off. Stayed in there. Okay, doesn't really matter. I'll remove the audio part of it. Using these nail cutters as just side cutters. Perfect. Now I have 3 of these port panels without audio that I don't need on retro PCs. So amazing, the things we've done today. These thingies. So that's an evening well spent, I would say. So I need only one of these, though I have materials enough to make like at least 10, and the boards I have enough of PCBs to make at least, I don't know how many, a lot. So I guess on this note, let's call it a day. So success, I would say. We fixed this problem, the problem with soldering in just straight into PCB wires that break off easily, very easily. So now instead we have pins that you can use connectors, or you can use the connector, you can glue the connector in if you want it to be detached from this side. So which is way better than the wires that randomly and pretty soon, well, pretty fast, breaking off. So I guess that's it for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. People on YouTube, thank you very much for watching me on YouTube. If you like this video, please leave a like. The first 40 minutes of the video there were no microphone sound. I'll try to well, address that after the stream in comments in description. So my bad. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Leave a like if you like this stream. We usually play games here. GeoGuessr, DayZ, rarely anything else, but from time to time we do things like that. And there will be a bunch of retro PC builds incoming. There will be a bunch of them, so bunch of them are coming. So subscribe to not miss it. On YouTube, if you're watching me on YouTube. Twitch people, thank you for watching me on Twitch. Quite some viewers tonight. Nice to see you all. Let's find somebody to rate, if you don't mind, on Twitch. So YouTube people, rates, it's only for Twitch. So not a lot of people are playing actually on my following page tonight. Are playing games at Just Active at 6 a.m. Well, it's Saturday. I usually don't stream at Saturdays, but if it's like something that needs to be done, then, and if it can be streamed, then it's not gaming. It's working on things. So let's see if we can find somebody who we could just raid, some maker, some live person, not just a bot, not just automated streaming some, I don't know, zoos, cages, earthquakes, planes. There's a guy who I raided yesterday, working on his Arduino controlled turntable, record player pretty much, oddball number 3. So if you want that, go and take a look at him, but I'm looking for somebody else to raid. So there's a person, can we raid them? A VTuber working on some clock on a bunch of breadboards. That's interesting. Let's see if we can raid them. Raid this person. Let's see if the command goes through. Let's go and say hi to Meriwether Remark. They are working on a bunch of breadboards, building clock. So that's interesting. That's like real stuff right there. And I will see you all tomorrow, probably with another gaming stream. That's it for tonight. Goodbye and good night.